Is your child getting stuck while speaking? Is your child fearing or avoiding speaking in some places or with some people? It could be child stammering. It is difficult to identify child stammering because it starts at a very young age, after the child starts speaking. A young child can't understand always or figure out what is happening with them. And as guardians, we may also just pass as, oh, this is just playfulness. So that's why I am creating this video today to address the issue of child stammering and to help you be more aware about this. Hello everybody, I am Dr. Upasana Bagchi, the research head of Stammering Cure Center, and I have done my PhD on stammering. I bring to you information about stammering from the viewpoint of a psychologist so that you can understand what it is and how to deal with it. What is child stammering? Stammering is any disruption of fluent speech due to a break in the timing. It is not a disease or a defect. If your child can speak well but only sometimes stammers or in some places he gets stuck while speaking, then that proves that your child's speech organs are completely fine. So it is not a defect. You may feel that it is a physical problem because that is what we can see and observe. However, the problem is more than that. It is a psychological bad habit which is caused by the incoordination between the thinking and the speaking. So how does it start? Firstly, let me clarify that a person is not born with stammering. They learn to speak first and then stammering may develop due to various factors. As a child is learning to speak, they are trying to figure out the various things that have to be done in a sequence to speak a particular meaningful language that others can understand. This happens by trial and error method. Sometimes a child may falter or repeat a word. If people around the child draw their attention to that speaking behavior, then the child is more likely to pick it up faster. So people may draw the child's attention by saying, "Oh, so cute, oh, so funny." But as they grow up, that way of speaking suddenly becomes the problem. As an older child who doesn't seem to be able to speak properly, it becomes stammering rather than a way of speaking in a funny manner. Sometimes the people may start scolding or punishing the child. They may also get ridiculed severely because of this faulty way of speaking, and that gets them shaken, scarred, and they start fearing speaking for the rest of their lives. Stammering can also start by imitating or replicating others' stammering. Children observe the speech patterns of people around them to speak like them. So if they come across stammered speech from people around them or distorted speech like in some cartoons or videos, they may imitate or learn from that. In some cases, the child may be self-aware and starts to notice that something is not right with their speech. Unable to understand or express this, they try to avoid it or escape it in their own way, but the problem still persists and complicates with time. Does stammering ever go away on its own? Yes and no. In less than 1% cases, stammering may go away completely, but that is a chance factor with completely no scientific evidence for that happening or why it happens or how it happens. In my opinion, it happens due to the learning. If the child is able to learn the correct way and the easy way of speaking and they are able to adapt their speech mechanism to speak fluently, they get cured. Is stammering genetic? The reason we are asking this question today, whether stammering is genetic or not, is because in some cases we see stammering across generations in the same family. For example, father and children, mother and children, siblings, cousins, and sometimes maybe all three generations. This obviously makes us think that stammering is genetic. Researchers have been trying to associate stammering with the genes responsible for causing it, but nothing conclusive has been found. At Stammering Cure Center, we have been able to establish the cause for this phenomenon of stammering repeating in the family within genetically close members. As a child is learning to speak, if he or she observes another person close to them speak in that manner, they will try to learn that way of speaking, because a child does not know the difference between normal clear speech and stammered speech. Therefore, we think that it doesn't matter if stammering is genetic or not, because the truth is, learning and nurture has a deeper impact than nature. That is why we at Stammering Cure Center believe that stammering is curable. How child stammering can be cured? Since the child has started to stammer very recently, it is easier to cure child stammering because it is less complicated. The cure is achieved very easily by guiding the child to speak correctly. Since learning is the key in developing stammering, we need to unlearn the old bad habit and teach the new and correct way of speaking to the child. Along with that, the psychological impact of stammering also needs to be addressed, because trauma can lead to stammering, and stammering can also lead to traumatic experiences in a young age. But the problem is that an expert in speech can only guide in one way, whereas an expert in the mind can help in another way. With years of dedicated research, we at Stammering Cure Center have a comprehensive 360-degree solution to stammering that addresses every problem that the child is facing and empowers them to speak fluently on their own and be confident in life.